Hello, Wankers.
What's up, Vankahs?
Greetings, Vankahs. What a week. What a development. Guenther Steiner, it's coming down to Abu Dhabi. How we feeling?
Feeling good, huh? At least you've got something to look forward to, you know? I mean,
We've got a lot to look forward to.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of, you know, who would have expected what happened last weekend in Qatar? Nobody.
Well,
so yeah.
Nobody? I think we could have expected some of it.
That McLaren fucks it up, huh?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I think there have been a few times this year where we could have maybe expected, when the pressure was on McLaren, to fumble it, which they've done yet again. McLaren drops the ball. Max Verstappen is right back in this thing. Oscar Piastri is dejected, depressed. He must be furious. I can't imagine what Mark Webber is feeling right now, and the chewing out that the McLaren organization must have gotten from him. But we have so much to discuss, all that and more on this week's episode of Vankah Hours, brought to you by BetMGM. Before we get into all that, let's cue the music.
Don't fuck smash my door. I'm Guenther fucking Steiner and I'm back for more. Don't fuck smash my door. I'm Guenther fucking Steiner and it's time for Vankah Hours, baby. Vankah Hours, baby. Vankah Hours, baby. Vankah Hours, baby.
And we're back.
Guenther, there's a word in Arabic. I might butcher the pronunciation. Inshallah, if God wills it. We're in Qatar. We're going to Abu Dhabi. Is God on Max's side?
No, McLaren is on his side.
That's right.
Is you know, I said it a few times. McLaren is the biggest fan of Max Verstappen. You know, they're trying to help him. You know, I think they try to make it interesting for us, McLaren. How about that theory? You know, McLaren just does it all for the fans. You know, they're such a good people. They risk the world championship just to keep it interesting. You know, papaya rules all over again.
I mean, that Qatar track, I mean, that was going to be a bad race. That was looking to be a snoozer. That was looking to be just like the sprint race. If it wasn't for McLaren, this would be about a 3-minute episode, right?
We would be struggling to talk about anything, you know? Yeah.
If it wasn't for McLaren in Vegas, this championship would have been over in Vegas. I mean, these are going to be the best episodes numbers-wise of the year. It's amazing for us. It's horrible for the drivers. I mean, you know, Zach Brown was on a Beyond the Grid episode. Andrea and Zach Brown both did this episode of Beyond the Grid, where Zach Brown said, you know, we want to do things the right way, our way, the papaya way, and he's okay losing to Max as long as Max beats us and we don't beat ourselves. Is Zach Brown holding to that thought right now, Guenther?
I don't know if he's holding this thought, but obviously he's not. He cannot be happy because that is what they're doing. They're beating themselves in the moment, the big style. You know,
no,
I mean, they have nobody else to thank than themselves to be where they are. I mean, the good thing for them is they still got a good cushion of points. But I think most of the people, I cannot speak for everyone, has lost the trust that it's like, will they get it wrong again because trying to do the right thing?
Right.
To do things our way, to lose our way. They'd rather lose our way than win somebody else's way. It kind of sounds like how when I was an alcoholic, like I'm just sticking a beer, you know, I have my own way of it sounds like kind of some kind of drug addict's rationalization, like I don't inject it into my veins. I just smoke the drugs. Like it sounds like this crazy rationalization. It sounds so disconnected from reality. What do you think, Guenther? Do they sound insane?
I wouldn't say insane. They try to find a way to make it, how you say, the people like it. Because if you say, it's like, okay, we are above this, so we are okay with it. I don't know many people which are okay to lose. How many do you know? I mean, I don't know many people which are okay to lose,
And guess what?
Especially if you're in a
sport. In sport, exactly.
You shouldn't. If you're happy to lose, why the fuck are you there in the first place?
Well, it's interesting. I don't think they're happy to lose, but it's interesting what you said there. Like, they try to make the people happy. Zach Brown, he's a marketing guy. I mean, he's
a very good one, by the way. A very good one.
Yeah.
The best. Yeah.
Well, it seems like
sorry to interrupt you. Yes. We can ask Zach, are you happy to lose a sponsorship deal?
No.
As long as it's done fairly, yes. No, Zach is not happy. No.
Yeah, he certainly isn't. He certainly doesn't have the papaya rules when it comes to business are a lot different than the papaya rules when it comes to on track. I mean, he got that Monster Energy deal from Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes-Benz. I don't think that they necessarily only were like, well, we're just going to do things the right way. Right. But I go back to my point. Yeah. Zach is a marketing guy, and I think in his mind, he felt like if we let these guys race each other, and if we don't choose a number one, the people will actually flock to us. They will appreciate it. They will appreciate that we're not doing what Ferrari did with Schumacher in the early aughts. We're not doing what Red Bull has maybe done a little bit with Max. I mean, Max has kind of done it for himself. But I think that there has been a vast miscalculation from the king of marketing about what the kind of fandom is going to interpret from what they're doing, because the whole thing has felt like, I mean, it just feels like it's vastly hurt the McLaren brand.
I will go back a little. When that was said, I think there was still a big confidence there. If I say that will make me popular, but I'm still covered because we are still in a good position, But now, after, it kept on going, they're not in a good position. They're still in a good position because they're still ahead. And in the end, if they win, obviously, we will get all the stick, we did it the right way and we won it the right way. But then it gets a little bit lame because, in my opinion, but anyway, as you said, Zach is a very good marketing guy and he will use that to his advantage as well. But I think there must be an aftertaste, because it's like, you risked something you didn't need to risk. That's my opinion. And if they lose, I do not think that shareholders of McLaren will be happy.
Right. Okay, let's get into kind of the specifics of what happened on the day, because it's a little bit complicated, and I'm curious your thoughts here. Okay, so we're in Qatar has this 25 lap rule, this ordinance. They've come in, they say no more than 25 laps on any tire. There's 57 laps in this race. So that means you can do 25 laps on one, 25 laps on another, and 7 on a third tire if you want. Or, you can split it, whatever. 7 laps in, the amount of laps where it's like, okay, if there's a pit stop, we're all going to make a decision about, if there's a safety car, we're all going to make a decision whether we come in or not. Oscar's leading, Max is in second, Lando's in third. They leave both McLaren guys out, and everyone dives into the pits. Now, what they've said is that they made a decision before the race that if it happened on lap 7, they weren't going to come into the pit because they wanted flexibility. Now, what it seems to be is, at least what people are saying, and I kind of believe this too, is that because Oscar was leading and Lando was in third, them doing a double stack, you risked screwing up Lando's race. What would happen to George Russell might happen to Lando. He might get caught in all the pit stop chaos. And so they didn't pit either of them in a way of not splitting strategies and keeping it even and keeping it fair. What do you think happened on the day?
What I think, and then I give you a second theory, but my first thought is, this happens, nobody wants to take a decision, guess what? No decision is made. What happens? You go past pit entrance, and it's like, fuck, everybody else is coming in. We are done, It's simpler than it, because sometimes when you don't know what to do, you do nothing. And that is what happened. And I always say, no decision is the worst decision. It wasn't an active, when they were out under safety car, you didn't hear, stay out. No, you hear nothing. There was nothing. And it was like, what are we doing next? Because everybody was looking at each other. What should we be doing? Nobody wanted to make a decision because everybody was afraid to make the wrong decision. So no decision was made, and it ended up to be the wrong decision. If it is, in my opinion, if it is clear, this is what we decided before the race to stay out, you just say on the radio, stay out. Because if that is a clear message, or you say, as per plan, or something like this, hearing nothing, for me, it was like, what are we going to do next? Because they maybe in their pre-race strategy, they thought they were 1 and 2 out there or something like this. Now they are 1-3. Is what are we doing next? Should we? Because, normally you would bring, say, 1 car in, 1 car out. If you're like this, if you're worried about the double stack, to screw one over. It's like, I think what was simply done, there was nobody said anything, and then it was too late.
But I'm a little confused, Guenther. 1-3 is not that much different than 1-2, and he's starting on the dirty side of the track. They know that losing a place to Max Verstappen is probably pretty light. It's not like Lando went 10 places. They were within the realm of what they could have planned for. And we've talked to strategists before. We've talked to Ruth Buscombe and Bernie Collins. The idea is that this is a pretty standard thing. Everything stays the same. There's a safety car on lap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a diner menu of what you're going to do. To say that they didn't know, to say that this wasn't planned for, this very obvious, predictable thing that there's going to be a safety car in the first 10 laps is kind of ludicrous. They must have had a plan, right?
Well, what they said was their plan was to stay out. They said that they had a plan, and their plan was that they stay out. But that was obviously the wrong decision, if that's true, if we are to believe that's what happened.
But at the end, their plan didn't include the other people, because obviously when you make that plan, you think everybody else stays out. And, you let Oscar pass, okay, Max comes in, follow Max to the pits. That's what you do. Because it's like, they are fast, they have the best car, fair play, but to make up one pit stop, it's just not happening.
But do you think this umpire rules thing is, they don't want Lando to follow Max in, because then they split the strategy, and then if Lando then wins the race or does better than Oscar, all of a sudden they're going to be in another world of shit all over again, because they split the strategies, and then this narrative that they favor Lando is going to come even
everything is
stronger
based on how it should be, how the perfect world should work. But in racing, there is no perfect world,
Right.
So, because if they had a plan that they are not coming in if safety car is coming out on lap 7, you must have a plan. What are we doing if the other people are coming in and we are not 1 and 2? That is a plan. Otherwise, you haven't planned for a thing which can happen. So, your theory that, they had a plan until lap 8, we are not coming in, is like, but you have to, you have always to calculate in your opponents, and you have to react to them as well. You're not there out on your own. You're not on a quali lap. You're in a race. And you know that and the calculation is we are not a second or more than a second a lap faster than anybody else. That you cannot assume, because you don't know. So
what would have happened? Do you think if the two of them had went in and Max would have stayed out, or do you think?
I think Max would have come in as well.
Okay. So you don't think they were damned if they did, damned if they didn't?
No, I think everybody would have come in as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like, it was the right, it was
the right call.
Well, it's the right call. Everyone else did it.
Yeah.
Everyone else did it. And I think, we spoke after Vegas. There was this narrative last year, and now it's rearing its head again. Is McLaren ready to be champions? Are they ready to be at the top of Formula One? And it feels like, once again, the team has shown that maybe they are not, that they are not aggressive, that they are followers, not leaders, and the papaya rules goes into that. All the kind of Michigas, all of the internal politics kind of goes into that. But once again, you play to win, not to. It's like in their attempts to play safe, they don't go aggressive, and then they're left fucking holding the bag.
Yeah, I mean, you put it right. I mean, but I think they are ready to be world champion. They have a very good team. And one thing I would say, after the race, there was no blame culture. I mean, I don't. It's managed very well. The drivers, actually, they are not happy, but they don't. I mean, they are very tame about how they tell that they are not happy. They're not like. I mean, and they have got that one well under control, and there's not like, oh, this person did this wrong, or this person did that wrong. No, it was like, yeah, it was not the wrong decision, but it's all good. All right then.
I want to talk about the kind of response afterwards, because the more I've watched, the more I've gone back and looked at it, the more angry that I've gotten. I mean, the idea that they, on the radio afterwards, didn't immediately apologize to both of them, especially Oscar, but both of them, that they didn't say, like, hey, so sorry, we messed that up. But instead, they say to Oscar, like, they're like, you had such great pace, like, oh, boy, you were fast today, Oscar. Boy, you were fast. It's like, that's not what's needed right now. What's needed is ownership. What's needed is accountability. And even after the race, Zach Brown did a good job of saying, like, we messed up. But then after that was like, we're going to learn from this. And Andrea was like, we messed up. But then afterwards was like, we're going to look back and we're going to learn from this. We're going to learn from this. I mean, Guenther, it's the second or last race of the year. Like, as a leader of a team, the buck stops with someone. They need to take accountability, don't they? The learning time is fucking over, is it not?
Yeah, but I mean, it's also what was the radio message when the drivers ask
the flexibility? What the fuck was that?
We want flexibility.
Yeah, it wasn't the right flexibility at the end. Something went wrong on the flexibility there, because it wasn't very flexible. It was what it was. I mean, I did when I heard that word flexibility. I mean, I didn't have anything as a strategy program. It's like, you're not going to make this one up, buddy.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to take him anymore. That's it. You lost the race,
But there was gaslighting. It was just like, it wasn't
exactly. Yeah. It wasn't honest. No. It was like, fuck, we fucked this one up,
Right.
Yeah.
At what point are they, like, affecting the way in which drivers will want to go there? I mean, if I'm a top driver...
The driver will, you will always want to go there because you've got the fastest car in the moment,
Well, if you have the fastest car, but if it's a toss-up, I mean, it's like you think, like, well, of course we have the fastest car. Anyone would want to come here, but at a certain point, would you rather take, like, if I'm Max Verstappen, and Red Bull's not there next year, and I have an opportunity with, like, a team that's a top team, a McLaren, they're a top team, or a, like, just below them. But I can have, I trust the people that are involved. I trust them not to interfere. I trust this,
You got one thing wrong there. Max, if he goes there, he does what he wants to do. He's not running to the papaya rules. He doesn't give a shit about the papaya rules. Max is there for Max to win, as we well know. So Max, if he goes there, he said, I don't want any of this. I mean, can you imagine telling Max, we did this for flexibility? Yeah, I mean, the answer you get from Max.
Right.
It's not different than you would get from Aston.
If you're Charles Leclerc, if you're, someone on the come up, one of these young guys, I don't know, like, you have to be a place where talent wants to come. I don't know, like, the car is great, but, like, this has just been I mean, you've watched both of these guys be completely, like, destroyed by this team.
But that's what I said. I find it quite amazing, and where they do a good job is keeping everything balanced after something like this happens, that nobody gets an outburst, That's for me.
It's a cult. It's a cult, Guenther. That's because it's a cult.
Yeah, at what cost, Guenther? I mean,
it's the papaya cult.
It's the papaya cult.
But right now you're saying, like, well, everything seems good. You know what I mean? Like, there's a kind of, like, button, like, no one's getting that mad, but that doesn't mean that, like, emotions aren't occurring. You know what I mean?
And that doesn't mean that you're good.
Right.
But I would say no team is perfect. Like Mercedes, Red Bull has a one-car team. Ferrari has its dysfunctions.
But that's for the competition.
Mercedes' car isn't there. I mean, there isn't, like, if you're a top driver, you're kind of gambling wherever you go. I think, McLaren has this weird papaya rules thing, and they maybe meddle too much. So it's like, every relationship has its flaws. So I don't think, it's interesting. I don't think there's here's
a question though, Guenther. Yeah. Right? They're like, we're seeing the front facing that no one's that mad.
Everybody's happy.
Along.
Yeah.
Guenther, you've been behind the scenes. You know what these meetings are like. You know what it's like to be in that garage after a tough weekend. What do you think the mood is at McLaren right now?
I think they all are unhappy but nobody voices it because it's a culture, and I think it's not a bad culture. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just like, but deep inside, I mean, if you're in that team, we said it many times. It's like, how many chances have you got to win a world championship? And they can still win it. I think they are still in the best position to win it, obviously mathematically. They've still got the best car. They can still win it, but put it at the edge all the time. Is that what you want to do? Not really. And should they lose it? I don't think you can keep the lid on this one. Somebody will be unhappy.
You think that's a good culture to just bury it deep down inside? You think that's a good culture?
No. Personally not, but I cannot. For me, it's not a good culture. You need to. Hey, we fucked it up. Let's try not to do it anymore. Let's get clean here. And but it's every culture is different, and I'm not entitled to say it's wrong or right. That is there. It's a culture. It's like that is how they want to behave. As long as they don't hurt anybody, we need to be fine with it. And if it works for them, if they win the world championship, obviously. The winner is always right, as we well know.
Well, let's talk about we're going into Abu Dhabi. Let's talk about some of the potential scenarios here. So Lando is in the lead of the championship. He's 12 points up on Max Verstappen, 16 points up on Oscar Piastri. So if the going into Abu Dhabi, the situation is if Max wins this race, Lando needs to get third to win the championship. If he's fourth or below, he's out. Oscar needs a bit more of a miracle. He needs to finish 5 points ahead of Max and 16 points ahead of Lando. So, I mean, if he wins the race and Max gets second and Lando gets sixth, then Oscar wins. That seems like a more unlikely scenario. Seems like Oscar's going to need two miracles. He's going to have to beat Max Verstappen, and he's going to need Lando to just be kind of nowhere come Abu Dhabi. Let's put ourselves in a couple of hypothetical situations here. Let's say Max Verstappen is leading this race, Lando Norris is in fourth place, Oscar Piastri is in third place. What do you do?
Well, you know what I do. Swap place.
What do you think they are going to do?
Oof. If push comes to shove, yeah. Wow. I think they will do it. I think they will make them swap places. That's what I think.
Do you think Oscar will do it?
I think he will because he cannot win it anyway, and then he gets himself a lot of goodwill. If he doesn't do it, you can imagine the whole team is against him afterwards. You cannot do that, That wouldn't go down well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's another scenario. Max is leading. Oscar's in second place. George Russell's in third place. Lando's in fourth place. Oscar would need to fall 2 positions to go to fourth. Lando gets the podium. What do you think happens then?
Same thing. They will make him fall back. It's a championship, guys. It's a Formula One World Championship. The value of that one. But not only image value. Money value, it's a lot, because for sure, sponsors, if you win a world championship, pay you more money. You need to do it. All the team, the team will be on a bonus for it, never forget that. All team members, if they win the championship, I guess they're on a bonus if they win that championship as well. So, he cannot not do it. I've been proven wrong for McLaren with this bloody papaya rule quite a few times, so maybe I get it again, but And I think Oscar will do it because he says, I cannot win it anyway, so why should I, stop my teammate to win it? It's a logical thing for me to do.
Because they've shafted him a couple of times. The team has shafted him a couple of times.
But that doesn't. You still don't win anything, and you create a lot of bad feelings in the team and compromise your future. It's like.
Yeah, but then I hate to say this, if you lose a championship to your teammate, you become Mark Webber, and then that's a bet. It's better for it to be a 2007 Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso situation, and Kimi Räikkönen wins it. Better that you both lose it than one wins, one loses. Better for your career.
Yeah, but
I don't know, but that race, Fernando didn't do anything to for Lewis to do that. Lewis's engine cut out. He messed up on lap 1. You know, that was like, you know, Lewis is going into that race leading, and, you know, then had a race from hell. He messed up, and then the engine cut out. It wasn't like, I mean, they hated each other at that point. But do you think that given Fernando's, I mean, think about Fernando's like career.
You think if that was you think if it wasn't Fernando's power to like let Lewis, if Fernando Alonso was in that,
no, I don't think I think he would not have done it
exactly.
But we've seen that like what Fernando Alonso's like vibe and ethos has like brought to his, like, you know, it's like he's burned tons of bridges, and he's, you know, at times paid the consequence of that.
Right.
Like it's a cost benefit analysis. Yeah. And also, like, is the time to do it now? It's like the time to disobey team orders and the time to disobey them.
That was 7-8 races ago. Yeah.
Then at the end of the year, on the last fucking race.
That was too late,
In the time where everyone's looking at you and you really, like, are considered
okay, when
evil.
was it? When was it? Was it Monza?
Yeah.
With the pits, was it the pit after the bad pit stop?
Yes. Yeah. That's when he should have disobeyed.
Stood his spot.
You know was another one when he should have done it? I'll tell you when. Forgot the race. But it was Lando needed a tow to get out of fucking Q1. He could have killed him then. That, like, Lando really needed help.
Right.
Lando could have been out Q1. That could have fucked his whole weekend up, and Oscar gave him a tow. I mean, there was a couple of times when Oscar could have assassinated Lando, and he didn't do it. And so, I mean, I think you guys are right. I think when Oscar had a big lead, it's too late. I think, you know, you were a mensch.
He's made his bed. They've made their bed with how they're going to do this season. If they want to handle something different next season, they want the gloves to be off at a different time. But it's too little, too late. I agree. I mean, he's got to do it. But it's a horrible. But here's the thing, and this is, I mean, Matt. You know, Matt's having a little fucking tantrum. But it's like it's the situation that McLaren have put them in, and they put themselves in this situation. They've done this time and time again. They've like they've tied knots that they're like, fuck, how are we going to untie this thing? It's like, guys, you did it yourself. You've done it yourself. It's unbelievable. We didn't say Wanker of the week, but Guenther, is it fair to say?
Yes. And McLaren. You know what? If you get too sharp, you cut yourself, you know. And that's what happened. They tried to be too sharp and cut themselves. And now they're bleeding, you know.
Vankahs, we got one race left, baby. One more chance to put your money where your mouth is, okay? Who do you think's going to win this championship? Is it Lando Norris? Is it Max Verstappen? Is it Oscar Piastri? Do you think that there's a Hail Mary Oscar Piastri championship? Well, guess what? Put your money where your mouth is with our friends at
BetMGM.
That's right, because as you know, we've teamed up with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we have a special offer for our listeners each week. And if you have not signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code
Vankah,
and you will get up to $1,500 in bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You use the BetMGM app, download it, sign up using the bonus code
Vankah.
Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game or race. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. And make sure, once again, to use your bonus code
Vankah
when you sign up. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 and over only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Vankahs, do you ever feel like you're running on empty, staring at your screen, hitting that afternoon crash, and debating another coffee, you know, something that you're going to regret? Well, Yuki, what should they do instead?
Chew the NeuroGum.
That's right. Enter NeuroGum. Gum and mints give you clean focus without the crash, sugar, or sketchy ingredients. Don't you think so?
You know, I think so, but the guy with the sensitive palate thinks so, and that's what matters.
And most important thing is taste good.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm foodie. I'm very
picky.
Yeah, that's right. And I try multiple gums, you know, similar kind of product, but by far the best taste I had, and doesn't really stays in mouth. You know, the kind of weird taste. If that makes sense. That's why I'm not swearing these days. I was being uncomfortable. I tried multiple stuff, and it stays mouth, behind the helmet. And now why I'm not swearing these days? Neurogum.
Neurogum is the reason that Yuki's not getting fines. Okay,
Yeah.
he's keeping the bank account full. He's not getting fined by the FIA because Neurogum is all about getting your memory right. So when you're in the car and you maybe want to swear, you remember. Hey, I've been chewing my neuro. I can't swear right now.
That's right.
And that's important. And that's why you can only you can swear here, but not in other places because you have that control now. And you can find Neuro at CVS, Amazon, and neurogum.com. And for a limited time, you can get 20% off your first order at neurogum.com by using the code Vankah when checking out. That's neurogum.com. Use the code
Vankah.
for 20% off.
How do you spell?
Vankah.
K-A-H.
That's how we spell
That's
it.
how we spell it. It's not how you should spell it in real
Spell
life.
it however you want, but that's if you want to get the 20% off, you got to spell it like that.
Okay.
Neuro also offers caffeine-free options for all-day wellness and support. Neuro's memory and focus gum are made with American ginseng to support mental clarity minus the jitters. Neuro's sleep and recharge mints offer melatonin and chamomile to help you unwind and rest without pills or sugary gummies. We all know sleep is very important.
Super important.
Super important. We all got it. We got to make sure we have that tonight. Get some good ass sleep.
That's right.
That's right. Jet lag, especially
Yeah.
That's right.
from Europe.
Come on. Now back to the show. That's right. Okay, so McLaren obviously was your wanker for
Absolutely.
Qatar.
Yeah.
Guenther, who was your rock star for Qatar?
Carlos. How he did it. Again, he was there. You noticed the last 5 laps as he actually was going for the podium. Before, nobody really saw him what he was doing,
Yeah.
There was nobody spoke about it. Then all of a sudden, okay, he will end up on the podium. No shit, Again.
Right.
So
2 podiums this year for Carlos
Yeah.
Sainz.
how many has Lewis Hamilton?
0.
Don't talk about our friend Lewis that way. Don't talk about our close personal friend Lewis that way.
Here's the
You're swapping sides now since Yuki is not in the Red Bull anymore.
Okay, we're gonna get to that in a second. We're gonna get to that. in a second.
We'll deal with that later, Guenther.
What are you just twisting the knife today?
Yeah, exactly. I just like
He's distracting from the fact that he said that Oscar Piastri was going to win this championship the whole entire season.
Yeah.
He's got to point out when other.
I
people
lost that one. Yeah, exactly. I
wrong
lost
as
that
well.
one.
Now here's a question. Now that Williams hasn't brought any upgrades or anything, and now they weren't looking that good in the beginning of the year, and now all of a sudden they're fighting for podiums. Are we seeing? I hate to say it because I was a Carlos Sainz doubter. Are we seeing just a natural progression? Is Carlos Sainz just bringing this car to its natural potential that we haven't seen before? Is that what it is? Because it's not like the car is getting better. It's just is Carlos Sainz just naturally progressing his team?
I would say so. I think he's at ease now with the team. He's putting his best performance in he can. He wants to prove a point because obviously beginning of the season when he was behind Alex Albon, he was critiqued quite a bit from people like you. So I had to say that one. Yeah. and
you.
now
And me. Yeah, I'm not.
you do then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and. I think they did the whole team. They did a very good job in Qatar, because they put themselves in a position in qualifying, a good position, and then the pit stop was good. And you cannot overtake, or very difficult to overtake. You can overtake, but very difficult. And ended up
because we wrote them off. I was writing them off because they were like complete. They were one of the teams that were focusing on 26, and now they got 2 fucking podiums. I mean, how do you explain that? Explain it to me.
I don't think you can really explain it technically. It's one of those things. They were given an opportunity. Carlos Sainz wants to prove a point. It's at his best, and the car is decent. It's not a good car. It's not as good as the other 4 cars, or as the other 3 basically. Because the Ferrari, I think, in the moment is not any better than a Williams, and he just gets the best out of it. Drives smart.
Fucking Sauber. There was a great moment where Thick Hulkenberg, one of the Saubers, overtook fucking Lewis Hamilton. It was like David Coulthard was like, do my eyes deceive me, or did a Sauber just overtake a Ferrari? It was crazy.
What do you think this does for Carlos's kind of status in the paddock? Last year when he was leaving Ferrari, there was a lot of he held out for a top seat, but a top seat was not there for him. Do you think that, depending on how Williams does, if let's say Williams stays at the top of the midfield and doesn't rise to, actually being a top team, do you think that this now will have people from top teams giving him another look?
If they are, what sometimes happens, you are trying, for sure some teams will look at it now, but not admit it. I mean, think about it. Red Bull could have had him back last year to put beside Max. Didn't want him. It's like, should we have had Carlos and fight for the World Championship? Maybe. We didn't want him, but when you make these decisions, you never go back and regret them. So, but next time around, when one of the teams is looking for somebody, for sure, he must be one of the number one candidates. Now, he's still young, has got experience, won races, can pull a team together like he did at Williams. So he has got all the credibility now. He just needs the right opportunity. As I always say, you need to be at the right place at the right time.
I feel like it's hard. Correct me if I'm wrong, Guenther. I feel like it's hard to go back up. It's hard to go back up the ladder, right? Because, let's say, for example, in 2027, let's say Leclerc, Lewis retires, right? That seat seems like it's earmarked for Behrman. It's not like they're going to take Sainz back, right? Let's say that the Red Bull seat opens up, or Max, let's say Oscar leaves, McLaren's the best. Max will take whatever the best seat is, right? Then the Red, are they going to take Carlos Sainz, or are they going to take George Russell, or they're going to take?
Does he have the mark?
Is there a way into those top teams?
Does he have the scarlet letter now that he's not at a top team?
I think it will be very difficult, as you say. Except you're a rookie, to go up is very difficult. But I think the opportunity for Carlos is next year, if one of the cars which are now in the midfield, and could be a Williams, could be an Aston Martin, that they are looking for somebody which brings them completely to the top. Fernando went into the Aston Martin. Right. Fernando came back to, I think it was Renault at the time,
Right.
So I think the opportunities are there. For Carlos to go back to Ferrari, very unlikely. For Carlos go to Red Bull, very unlikely. Go to Mercedes, very unlikely. But there is always an opportunity, because one of the other teams performing highly, there where I think is his opportunity. Like McLaren, who would have thought 3 years ago that McLaren will fight for a championship in 2 years? Right. You need to be at that place, and that's why I say right place, right time. You need to have, you need to get the timing right and get lucky as well.
Right, yeah. It seems like his best shot is at Williams, actually, probably.
Williams or Aston Martin, I would say.
Yeah.
Because Fernando, I don't think Fernando can do another 5 years, to be honest. He will do another year, maybe 2 maximum. Lance Stroll,
have you heard these rumors that he's going to have a baby? Have you heard this?
Somebody said something, but I don't know if it is true.
Okay, I'm going to need you in Abu Dhabi, Guenther. I'm going to need you to.
I will find out. Yeah,
go find out.
Yeah,
Sky Italy has announced.
Apparently, Sky Italy has announced it, that there's going to be a baby Alonso coming.
Alonzinho, we call him. Yeah.
How would you congratulate? I mean, in Italian, how would you say congratulations for having your new child?
Congratulazioni.
Congratulazioni, Fernando Alonso. Okay. We're going to cover some of the stuff that you just talked about in this gas or break. But before we get to gas or break, Guenther, I don't know if you saw this. At a press conference over the weekend or on Thursday, Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton were at a press conference together, and they were talking about how Lewis got to ride Valentino Rossi's MotoGP bike. And Lando Norris was expressing jealousy, that he was jealous that Lewis had ridden a MotoGP bike, because Lando Norris is a big MotoGP fan. Do you have anything to say to the boy, to the championship leader?
Oh, he's welcome to ride our bike next year. I mean, it's the same color as well. Papaya, it's orange. It's orange papaya, very close by.
Right.
I mean, we can we can invite him, He can come along and ride the bike. We will find a way to make that happen. If that's what he's jealous of, he should be jealous of the championship of the 7 championships. But they all quite like MotoGP, or most of the drivers like MotoGP. But for sure, that would be something cool for him to do. But as I said, Lando, you're welcome to ride our bike next year sometime. Actually going to speak with his father in Abu Dhabi. It's a good idea, So invite him. When can you make it? I don't know if Zach Brown is happy if he's riding a motorbike, but,
Well, you have to invite Oscar as well because it needs to be fair.
Papaya rules. We need to be fair, Absolutely. Right. I'm going to speak with Mark Webber, see if he wants to ride the bike as well.
And make sure that both bikes are equal. You test them both.
I think they share one, so we make sure it's the same bike, So it's
maybe they get on the bike together. They get on one bike at the same time.
And then the other one, so they see exactly, to be completely.
Sure. Or
and then we get Zach on as well.
I think it would be cute.
Zach on the bike as well.
That's right. Yeah,
exactly.
You have to be a slightly bigger bike, but that's okay.
They should ride a KTM next year, a Tech 3 KTM. Yeah, that's what they're going to ride.
Get them on the KTM. Yeah. Okay, let's go to our favorite segment, gas or brake.
Williams will finish ahead of Ferrari next year.
Brake. Now I have to explain it.
The fact that you even need to explain it is very sad for Ferrari.
Yeah, no, because Ferrari, because they're doing their own power unit, obviously they can. The first year when you get a new power unit as a customer is always the most difficult one, because you get the information later than the works team, which is normal. It's nothing malicious, it's normal. And Williams is a customer team. So if Ferrari doesn't mess the PU up, they should be in a better position, because they it's just like if you have your own engine, it's much. You're always, let's say, 4 weeks ahead of the customer teams in developing the car. And 4 weeks is a lot. So I don't think that will happen.
I'm going gas. Everyone says that Mercedes, many people are saying that Mercedes has the best power unit. And as we've seen, I know it's at the end of the regulation set that McLaren has proven that you can do well as a customer team. Williams is coming on strong at the end of the season. And James Vowles, I hate to say it, seems like he knows what he's doing. They got a good driver pairing in Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. Ferrari has shown me nothing but incompetence. At the end of this year, they changed their suspension this year, and it was nothing but a disaster. I hate to say it, but I think that Williams is going to, kind of like in that engine. Remember that the last time that Williams was good was in that engine heavy, was in the 2015, 2014 era with hybrid era when it was very engine dependent.
Mercedes,
they had Valtteri Bottas on the podium in the Claire Williams era.
But we are not in 2015. We're in 2026 next year. So that's changed.
We're going back to that. We're going back to that. That's what they're saying. That's why people are favoring Mercedes, because they don't have to be as aero dependent. Because
there's only one data point, 2015, not more. So anyway.
Okay. Well, agree to disagree. This was my segment. This was my
gas or brake.
Gas or brake. You had yours. This was mine, and I'm going gas.
Yeah.
Okay. Now your turn.
All right. I am going brake, but slight brake. I think it's going to be close. I think that Williams is going to make a jump next year, and I think that the Ferrari organization is going to be sweating it. I think that they are going to be like sniffing that fourth position.
Fred, don't let me down. I need to. Fred, don't let me down. Okay, to prove this matter on.
Here's another question on Williams. Do you think Williams wins a race next year?
No. Because if the power unit is good, I think the other two teams with that power unit will be ahead of them, McLaren and Mercedes themselves. I don't know where Alpine will be, because they will have a Mercedes engine next year, and Alpine started very early with the 26 car, but I have no idea where they will end up, because it's an unknown, because if you judge them on this year's result, for sure they will not be in the front.
But isn't their problem always been their power unit? That actually, if they had a good power unit, they would be
It's not
decent?
only the power unit. They would be in the mix in the midfield. They wouldn't be running on top,
Okay.
I mean, the engine, maybe it's 2/10,
I think they're winning a race next year. That's just me. Next prompt.
Lewis should retire at the end of the season.
Break. He should see what 26 brings and then decide then. If he is in a good car, but he cannot beat Leclerc, or he cannot be at the same level as Leclerc. Not beat him, because to beat Leclerc you need to be good, But he needs to be at the same level. Then he should consider an end of 26 to call it a day. He has won a lot of things. He's will be retired as one of the greatest drivers in Formula One. He has nothing to prove to the world. So if next year it's a good year and he's at level with Leclerc, he should stay around. Otherwise, next year he should go. But this year he should hang into next year to see what is happening.
I'm going break. He's my close personal friend, and he should.
You want to see him around?
I want to see him. Yeah, I want to see him race for a long, long time. I want to see him. I want to see Fernando Alonso has a kid. Then Lewis is the only one that's still married to the game, and they got to have one guy that just won't quit. So I need that. I need that in my life.
I got feet on both. I mean, I'm like, Lewis, just get out of there, baby. Like they're it's horrible. It's not you. It is them. This isn't a two-way street. Get out while the getting's good. Fucking get out of there. It's a shit show. Sure, I want him to stay around this year. I can hope against hope, but I mean, I do think that if next year is going to be the year, I hope we know somewhat early, and there can be a nice, proper send off for him, and we can know that that's the send off. But I don't see, when they signed with him last year, I was thinking, oh my God, I was seeing red trophies everywhere, and it's too much. Ferrari, it's too much.
Brian, it's like you at the roulette table.
That's right.
You hit 3 in a row, and I was like, take it and go. Get out. Get out. And you were like, and then you just kept leaving it on red. Kept putting it on red.
Kept pushing.
And nothing was left at the end.
That's right. It was all gone.
But we had fun along the way, except the memories that we all share.
Yeah.
Next prompt.
It's too soon to promote Isaac to Red Bull.
Break. I mean, there is a point. You need to know if it is good or not. I mean, they threw Kimi Antonelli into Mercedes out of Formula 2, and he was swimming. So if Isaac is good, he should be swimming, when he's thrown in. But pretty simple. You cannot wait and, we need to wait a little bit. No. What other choices they've got. So I think it's the right thing, and I think he's ready to show that he can swim, It's like, when you get the opportunity, you need to take it on his side.
What other choices do they have, Guenther? I'm going gas, DRS, NOS, rocket fuel, napalm, nuclear light speed, Millennium Falcon gas. Okay, I'm going Buzz Lightyear into infinity and beyond. I mean, this is the definition of insanity. How many guys are they going to just keep promoting? I mean, they got to give Yuki another year. I mean, let the guy get to, they did Albon for a year. They did Gasly for 30 seconds, Albon for a season and a half. Then they did Perez for a few years. Then they did Liam Lawson for a cup of coffee. Now Yuki, with no season, with no testing. Now they're going to throw Isaac Hadjar, and it's a definition of insanity. I mean, give Yuki a full season of testing. Let him get up to speed with the new car. Hey, maybe this new car is got a wider platform. Give Yuki, who's had years of experience, give him a chance. Isaac's been in for 1 year. Let him get a little more experience with the Racing Bulls. Give him another year of Formula One under his belt before they throw him to the wolves. I think that I mean, Arvin Lindblad's really young. I mean, he could have used another year in F2. He could have been a reserve driver. I mean, there was no rush. I don't know what the rush is, but what do I know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. Gas. I mean, he's in his second year, like Guenther, but we've seen it time and time again. He's had a great year. So did Pierre Gasly. He's had a great year. So did Alex Albon. He's had a great. I mean, it's like he's going to be in his second year.
Liam Lawson had a great year before they promoted him.
I just think that sure, I just feels like it's recency bias. They threw Yuki in. He's up against Max Verstappen. I don't think it's going to go super smooth for Isaac Hadjar. It's going to be a new car, new regs. He hasn't driven these specific kinds of cars before. He's like had all of his Formula One kind of like, experience under a ground effect era, and now we're like, okay, well that's out now. Now hang out with Max in a Formula One car in these different kinds of cars. I think that Yuki has that experience. Yeah, he's had a horrible year. I'm not going to sugarcoat that.
Yuki doesn't have experience in a non-ground effect car.
Yes, he does.
In the ground effect, yeah.
Yeah, he does. 2021. He was there in 2021. He finished fourth in Abu Dhabi. People forget that.
You think he remembers
that?
What is he, a gerbil?
He's had more experience in Formula One than Isaac Hadjar. I think that if Yuki was on the Racing Bulls this year, he'd have a bunch of really great performances, and people would be talking about how, oh my God, why isn't Yuki in that Red Bull seat? I just think that that Red Bull seat is cursed, and they keep throwing new, fresh, young bodies at it, and they keep fucking getting chopped up in the buzzsaw that is Max Verstappen. And I think that Isaac's really good. I think he's really talented, but I don't know. You're gonna believe it's as Matt said, definition of insanity. I mean, This is gonna be the thing that breaks the curse. Are we sure? I am not.
Agree to disagree.
We'll see how it goes. Next prompt.
Adrian Newey being team principal is a bad idea.
Gas. Yes. We all know where Adrian is at his best, designing cars. And obviously, as much as he thinks it will not be distracting him, it will distract him, So therefore, I think it's not a good idea. They could have another solution, but maybe Adrian wanted to be team principal, so he has got to say. Yes. So, but
what do you think that says that he wants to do that job? What do you think that I assume it must have come from him. I don't think that people would have initially thought of him for that role, right? He must have said, I want to do this, and they said, okay. What do you think that says about where he's at?
I think where he's at, because Aston Martin is a very complex setup, I would say, and he just didn't want to have the debates. He said, if I'm team principal, I don't have to debate with anybody. What I want to do with my departments, I just implement it because I have got to say. And for sure, it wasn't easy with Andy Cowell there, because Andy Cowell obviously ran Mercedes PU unit for a long time and very good. I mean, he was the guy behind when they came out in 2015 with this hybrid engine. He was the mastermind behind that one. And I think he had a different idea how to set up a technical structure than Adrian. That's what I guess, And, Adrian was just sick of debating it, how he wants it, and said, let's get the debate out of the way.
This is Adrian Newey, the dictatorship grows.
This
is
exactly.
Him being this is my team 100%.
Exactly, yeah. I want to have success my way, I want to show that I can do this, yeah.
Right. But because I always heard that he was, getting older and didn't want to deal with all this bullshit anymore, and now he's actually
he got younger again. I think he got younger again, yeah.
Now, actually, bring on the bullshit. I want to do more.
Well, he's got a hot new girlfriend, Aston Martin, and all of a sudden he's going out and he's partying.
Exactly.
And
I guess my initial thought was this is a bad idea. Just let him design the cars. But the counter to that is, Ross Brawn wasn't he a technical genius, and then as team principal, he was able to kind of do both, right?
Yeah, but it was also different. The teams were a lot smaller, and they had one advantage that year. They invented the double diffuser. That was their whatever happened there, and they nailed that one. So, I think it's in theory you could compare it, but I think we need to times have changed. It's much more demanding now than it was at the time. A lot more races to go
with,
to.
like sponsors, is he?
I don't know. I mean, I guess he will have to. If he's team principal, who's going to deal with that? Because Lawrence Stroll is not going to deal with sponsors as the owner.
Right.
Do you think he can delegate? Like, do you think there's like a guy, like a COO or like a chief, whatever the fuck, that they can just make front facing?
Yeah, they can, but in the end, the sponsors and the press wants the team principal because that's their job.
People were talking about Christian going there and that they had some kind of a rapprochement. And then they hired him, and people are saying that he could still go in there as a more front-facing position. What do you say to that? Do you think that that's still on, that Christian could be CEO and he could be team principal, and then Christian could do more of the front-facing, kind of like a Zach Brown, Andrea Stella situation?
I think as it stands now, what they will do, they will work it like they said they're going to work it, and then if something doesn't work next year, after 6 or 12 months, they make changes, but not imminently. I don't think that Christian will end up there in the next 2 or 3 months, because they announced it, and Lawrence Stroll, I think, was pretty outspoken to the team that that is what it is, and if the car is successful, I don't think there will be any change. If the car is not successful, there will be a change. I mean, we know now Lawrence Stroll, 14 principals in 4 years. So I don't think that Adrian has got a longer lifespan if there is no success straight away.
What do you think? Gas break?
I think break. I think, he should just be designing his...
you said is a mistake, yeah. So gas. Yeah, I think gas as well. I think it's, he's never done it before.
Exactly. We all agree, which is something unbelievable.
Beautiful. Next prompt.
Kimi Antonelli purposefully let Lando through in Qatar.
Break. That was a lot of BS, I mean, you can see... I must admit, when you saw the first time the TV, it was like, wow, what happened here? But people jumping to the conclusion from that one that it was on purpose, that's a little bit harsh. You could have thought about it, but when they showed it clearly, you could see that the guy lost the car. It was pretty simple to see, and you cannot even do that. You can do it on purpose, but the risk you would take to do that on purpose is too high. No driver would do that, So that was and I understand that seeing it the first time on TV, you could jump to the conclusion it was on purpose. But then when you saw it in replay, it was like, no, there was no purpose in there. It was, he screwed up.
Yeah, break. There's no way he would have done something like that.
Yeah. It's total break, and it's interesting. There's like talk of the fandoms, right? And like Verstappen Hive, fucking come on, like what are you doing here? I mean, like people talk about the toxicity of certain fandoms, and Lando fans are crybabies, this, that, the other. But like Verstappen fan, it's like, is this year not been enough for you? You're gonna send death threats to a 19-year-old? What the fuck is wrong with you? Of course, he didn't do that on purpose. The only person that would do that on purpose is George Russell, because he hates Max Verstappen, not Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli seemingly really likes Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
What purpose would there be for them to do? Like, you think Mercedes likes McLaren that much? They don't want McLaren to win. They have their power unit. It makes Mercedes look worse if McLaren's winning championships and they're not. You fucking get your shit together. Okay, that does it for Gas or Break. All right, Vankahs, buckle up, because we're bringing you something special from our friends at OKX. OKX is the new money app in the United States, and it's your way to build your crypto portfolio and use it in your daily life. Not only that, but they're also one of the McLaren F1 team's primary partners, and together they have teamed up to send one of you Vankahs, to the ultimate F1 Pirelli hot lap experience.
Yeah, we're talking a once-in-a-lifetime trip to a U.S. circuit in 2026. You and a friend living the fast life, all weekend long.
You will get 2 $1,000 flight vouchers, a weekend packed with surprises, and here's the big one. OKX, in conjunction with McLaren F1 team, will invite you and your +1 to enjoy an F1 Pirelli hot lap in a McLaren supercar.
Imagine sitting in the passenger seat, strapped in beside a pro driver as they push the car to its limits. The acceleration, the precision, and speed, giving you a real sense of what racing feels like on the track.
And that's just the start, babies. There are surprises all weekend. Think exclusive moments and memories that'll have you telling this story for years to come. All the ops are going to be so jealous of you if you get to do this. And the best part, getting in is easy. Just head to the campaign page at www.okxgiveaway.com/McLaren-podcast-Vankah Hours. Okay, did you get that? We're going to have it on the screen. Once you're verified, you'll automatically get $10 in free Bitcoin. And guys, Bitcoin is low right now. You know that thing's going to come right back up. So that $10 is going to go a long way, and you'll be entered into the draw for that unforgettable weekend experience. Once again, visit okxgiveaway.com/McLaren-podcast-Vankah Hours now, and maybe we'll see you with OKX and McLaren Formula One team in 2026. Fellas, it's the holiday seasons, and you're going to want to be looking sharp, but you're also, guess what? You're going to want to be comfortable. Isn't that right? Because, have you ever the experience whenever you put on like a pair of slacks, you're like, yeah, okay, my mom's not mad about the way that I'm dressed, but I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, the judgment's coming from within instead of from without.
That's right. I'm judging myself for why am I wearing these fucking pants that feel so starchy and uncomfortable? Well, guess what? You don't have to make that sacrifice anymore, okay? You can make your mom look at you and say, oh, you look nice. Oh, look at you. You look nice. But guess what? You can be comfortable all along the way, and that's where Chubbies fixes your problems. Because Chubbies is the apparel company that makes you looking sharp while also keeping you comfortable. Chubbies Everywhere pants are perfect for any scenario. They're perfect for the bar, they're perfect for Christmas dinner, and they're perfect for a date with a cutie. That's what they got. And we've been rocking our Chubbies shorts all summer long. They're great, they're flexible, they're comfy, and they make my thighs look extra strong and sexy. But guess what? It's winter now. Now you got to go and get their pants. But for a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your purchase at Chubbies with the promo code VANKAH at checkout. Also, it's Cyber Week, okay? Because Chubbies all about hugging them thighs. Cyber Week? No. At Chubbies, it's Cyber Week. So they got a bunch of great deals over at Chubbies. Go to the website, make you look nice. Look nice for once, but also be comfortable with Chubbies. Once again, use the promo code
VANKAH
at checkout. Just head to chubbiesshorts.com and make sure you support the show and tell them that we sent you. Before we get to predictions, we need to talk about Max Verstappen, Guenther. Max Verstappen, he's 12 points behind. Guenther, if he can pull off this championship and he can win his 5th title, what does this do for the Max Verstappen legacy?
I mean, it's like, I think, first of all, he needs to party for a week. Non-stop.
Doctor prescribed.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be. I mean, whatever it takes, just don't go to sleep.
He needs to go on a Kimi Raikkonen bender. He needs to go on a Kimi Raikkonen 12-day bender.
A doctor with him, to keep him alive, but keep on going, buddy, you know?
Get Jack in there, make sure that his teeth are not getting infected from the alcohol,
Exactly, that they are not rotten out afterwards, Jack Ploy, him, Raymond Vermeulen, Jos Verstappen, they need to be on a party, never-ending one. What does it do for his legacy? I mean, it's like he will go into a GOAT, I mean, to take a championship with a car like this against a team, and then what he has to do, he has to go down the McLaren garage and hug every member of McLaren and thank them for it, and say, I couldn't do it on my own. You're all my buddies, Yeah.
Do you think if when they win, they should invite Zach Brown up onto the podium and spray him with champagne? If he wins the race,
he wins the race in Abu Dhabi, he should be collecting the trophy for the manufacturer. Yeah. On behalf of Red Bull, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Matt. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful answer, Guenther. Okay, we're prediction time. This is it. This is for all the marbles, Guenther. They've got to.
How is the standing? How is the standing? How is our championship?
Oh, so Guenther, you're sitting pretty right now. You got 55 points. You rode the Oscar Piastri train for a while and into your lead here. Matt has 46 points and I have 44. So second place is up for grabs, and whoever guessed the correct winner of the championship from the beginning of the year will get an extra 7 points after this is all said and done. So we'll have to check in on that. So, okay, Guenther, you've got a comfortable... Hey, you're like Lando Norris right now. You've got a comfortable lead, but are you going to fuck it up?
But you can still lose it all, you know.
Are you going to fuck it up? What's your podium for Qatar, and thus, what is your champion for the season?
Well, now we need to go dramatic. What is my... Oscar, Max, Lando.
So you're going Lando champ.
So you think Lando wins the championship?
Yeah, he's got, he can sleep well. Yeah.
Coward. I'm going Max, Oscar, George Russell.
And so Max Verstappen's champion.
That's right. That's right, baby.
Wow.
Inshallah.
Okay, what do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to go Max, Lando, Oscar. Lando Norris wins the championship, but by a fucking pubic hair does he win it. That's what I think happens. That was our episode. Guenther, what a great year this has been, huh?
Yeah, people need to subscribe.
That's right. Well, hey, we're almost at 75,000. Let's get to 75,000 before the season is over. Subscribe right now.
Subscribe.
That's right. This is just the beginning. We got big things ahead. We will. You're going to be in Abu Dhabi, are you not?
Yeah.
So you're going to be. Are you going to be doing the pod from Abu Dhabi, or are you going to be back?
No, I will be back. I fly back on Sunday night.
Max Verstappen if he wins.
No, I'm not going on the bando with Max because
Guenther, come on. If Max,
me and Jos, me and Jos,
you gotta go party with Max, and you gotta move your flight a day.
I'm too old. Yeah, I'm too old. I'm too old to.
Disappointed.
Adrian Newey's not too old to fucking be, running the team principal. Come on.
Too old. I need to get prepared for Lando on the bike now.
Yeah, age is a mindset.
What's the hardest? Yeah. What's the best party you've ever had in your Formula One days? Is there like a specific...
I'm not a big party man.
Come on, you must. Guenther,
we had once in Shanghai with Red Bull at the time.
Okay.
On the pond, Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back in the Red Bull days.
Back in the good old days, where no cameras were around, and all that good stuff.
Before they screwed everything up by replacing you with Adrian Newey. How did they do that?
Yeah.
Idiots.
Idiots, yeah.
You would still be partying with them. Okay, all right. Okay, Guenther. Well, we love you, Vankahs. We will see you in Abu Dhabi. One more.
Goodbye, Wankers.
Goodbye, Vankahs.
Damn, I'm a boss. I'm a red flag heavy